Hello, everybody. How's it going? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dreampitch. We're very excited to have you here. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff today, but before we get into that, there are a couple of things that I have to walk you through. First of all, I'm Layla Secca. I'm the Executive Vice President of the App Exchange here at Salesforce, and I get the lucky privilege of working with a lot of these startups with my cohorts and ventures. So together we're putting on this show for you. First and foremost, we're a publicly traded company. Please don't make any investment decisions based on anything you hear here. You're welcome to go look at our website for more data on this. And because this is a contest, more legalese, this is a contest. Don't make any investment decisions based on anything that happens here. It's a contest for fun, right? All right, so you are legally briefed. The lawyers in the house will be nice to me now. So first and foremost, we always like to start by saying thank you to everyone here at Salesforce. There are a lot of people in this community that make it so special, and if you've been at Trailhead DX these last 2 days, you've certainly gotten a taste of what that's all about. So we are deeply grateful for everyone. We're deeply grateful for our contestants, for our judges, and for all the people that helped put this together for us. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we do here. We sort of think about it in a couple of fashions, and I think if you've been here for the last couple of days, you've gotten a sense of how amazing Trailhead is. It's really a earth-shattering different way to do things and to learn things, and something we're really proud of. So we really see our developers and our partners learning with Trailhead, launching businesses on App Exchange, which we have seen so many of over the last 11 years, business after business, success after success, coming out of our ecosystem and really helping our customers reach the new heights that they're looking toward. And then, of course, we have an amazing ventures arm led by John Samorjai and Matt Garrett, who help us invest in awesome companies and look for talent in the ecosystem and really just look for what our customers are asking us for and ways to get there quicker. So that's really what we do here at Salesforce when it comes to incubating businesses and helping developers look for new ways to go to market. So with that, welcome to the Dreampitch! Woo! The Dreampitch is awesome. It is by far one of the best things we do. It's super fun. It's super exciting. And what makes it so special is the amazing judges that we get to come and show us really what it's like to go ask for money from a venture firm, really get in there. So I have to bring a piece of paper because these people are so accomplished I can't remember it all. First and foremost, I would like to first introduce to you guys Aileen Lee. She founded Cowboy Ventures in 2012, which is a seed stage fund focused on many notable investments, including Dollar Shave Club and Tally Technologies. Prior to starting Cowboy, she worked at Kleiner Perkins. And my favorite thing about Aileen is she coined the term unicorn. So in a 2013 TechCrunch article, she wrote, "Welcome to the Unicorn Club, learning from the billion-dollar startup." Ladies and gentlemen, Aileen Lee, said it wrong. Where is she? She's coming. Woo, there she is. Woo! She's awesome. She's amazing. She's going to offer us a whole bunch of killer insights. Thank you for being here, Aileen. We're happy you're here. All right, up next, another person who really is just amazing and awesome. My friend Josh Stein, he's a partner at DFJ. He currently sits on the board of Box, Chartbeat, Sugar CRM, TalkDesk, and a couple others, to name a few. His previous investments include Yammer, Twilio, Celigy, and he's repeatedly been ranked on the annual Forbes Midas list honoring top VCs. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Stein.
X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop-up.
VC powerhouse, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out. Here we go.
I got such a good heart that I make the
Next up is someone who is absolutely amazing and awesome, and who, if you don't know who she is now, you certainly will after this. The next person is Miss Arlan Hamilton. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She's the founder and managing partner of Backstage Capital, which is a VC fund that's funded at aiming and investing in high potential underrepresented founders. In the 2 years since she started it, she's invested over $2 million in nearly 50 companies. Some of the people in that fund with her are some notable folks we know and love, like Chris Sacca and Mark Andreessen and Ellen Pao. And something that just makes her even more amazingly awesome, before she started Backstage, Backstage, she started an indie magazine called Interlude while she was the tour manager for Atlantic Records recording artist Janine. Ladies and gentlemen, Arlan Hamilton!
They did it.
And I think you should all know that everyone chose their walk-up music except for me and the next person, which I also love about this. Next up is another person who's a dear friend of Salesforce and just an amazing venture capitalist that's done some awesome stuff. His name, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Scott Raney. He is a VC at Redpoint Ventures. He is on the board of Guild Education, Sourcecraft, and Twilio. He led the investment for the firm in Stripe, and his past investments include a couple of key things we really love, are that he led the investment in both Heroku and RelateIQ. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Raney! Scott didn't choose this song, for the record. He wanted to make sure everyone knew that, but I think it was good anyway.
I like it.
Yeah, good job. So clearly you see that we've brought some really amazing venture capitalists that help define Silicon Valley and really who the next unicorns, if you will, are going to be. So let's talk a little bit about how we're going to do this. So let's talk about judging criteria. These four amazing VCs are going to look across these three elements as our contestants pitch. The first one being the team. Is this a team that can execute on the vision that they're putting forth in front of them? Second one is the technology. How have the individual contestant teams leveraged Salesforce technology to really meet customer needs and really innovate on behalf of our customers? And the third is the business acumen. How well do they know the market they're going into? How well do they understand the needs in the business model? So these will be the judging criteria that our four judges will be looking at. And this is how it works, okay? Each team will come up for a 5-minute pitch. I will introduce them up. We will regulate their time very closely. They will then have a 5-minute Q&A with our four VC badasses. And then as the judges score, we will bring up the next team to get ready. In the end, when we finish the three pitches, I'll bring the contestants back on stage while the judges do their final scoring, and we'll chat about the whole experience. And then we will anoint a winner. Yes? Yes? Awesome. Okay. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. First up for pitch number 1 is Josh and Sayer from Orchestrate. Big round of applause.
All right, I have a couple T-shirts we want to drop off to everybody
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
you're already ahead of the game. Yeah. Nice.
And the timer hasn't started, so we're good there.
Perfect.
All right. Well, we just wanted to thank, I'm Josh.
I'm Sayer.
And we just wanted to thank Salesforce and the judges for allowing us to pitch and explain about our business, talk about it. So at Orchestrate, we build software to enable best-of-breed operations for every financial services firm on the Salesforce platform. I believe any great idea starts as a problem that needs to be solved. And a firm that I work for, we had a problem building processes on Salesforce. And I felt that we'd solve that in a unique way and decided to form Orchestrate and start getting that out to the other people on the platform. So we're going to start with a story here. And the story is about Campbell, very serious picture here. She's an IT executive at a top 25 financial institution. And she has thousands of reps on her platform that need to follow best practice processes. And on top of that, they need to be able to customize those processes for their own individual work teams in certain cases. She has a complex regulatory compliance environment that requires reporting that needs to be done on demand and with data from Salesforce. On top of this, she has a complex deployment environment that requires multiple sandboxes, multiple sign-offs. And as you can imagine, this on a traditional platform could take months. With Salesforce and Process Composer, it takes weeks.
So Campbell has not made this purchasing decision lightly. She knows that best-in-class companies, the research shows, enable business users to drive process improvement rather than IT. So that those business users can quickly and continuously change processes, implement best practices, and drive innovation in their businesses. She also knows that ROI on these types of investments pays back in less than a year at 150% on average, based on the research. So with Process Composer, users can define, execute, and report on complex workflows, all native to Salesforce, with no code, and enabling business users and admin skill sets to do this. I'll show you how it works. So what we've defined here is a sales process, an onboarding process for Process Composer licensing. And all we're doing is creating a custom object record in Salesforce, a business process. So we choose a record type just like we normally would. We fill out some basic information about that process. We link a contact and an account, and we link an opportunity. And once that's saved, it's inserted into the database. Process Composer kicks off that first step in the process. It's to make sure we have all of our data updated. Once we've closed that step, we'll see 2 more have been generated. The licensing setup and invoicing, and making sure that the MSA agreement that gets generated comes back okay. We can also look at our closed activities here, and we can see that there are a couple more than those we've created ourselves, that we've had to do ourselves. Process Composer has also performed a field update. It's updated an opportunity, close date, and stage. And then it's also attached a document to this business process and submitted this for e-signature. So we have a pre-signed copy of the document. One's gone out to the client for signature. And we've defined it in a screen just like this.
I want to talk just briefly about, show some of the clients that we work with that have been successful using our tools, mainly in the financial services industry. And now we want to talk a little bit about ourselves. So again, I'm Josh. I've developed software for about 20 years. 10 of those years have been in the financial services industry, and 9 of those 10 years have been on the Salesforce platform.
Yeah, and I'm Sayer. I'm a former investment portfolio manager, wore a lot of hats at an RIA firm, and taught myself to code and decided to focus on the tech side of things. Our team, in addition to Josh and I's 30 years of financial service experience, has deep financial knowledge, financial industry knowledge. We're based in Des Moines. Des Moines is the 3rd largest insurance capital in the country. So we're hiring from the talent pool of people that understand financial services and insurance in particular.
And finally, to talk a little bit about the technology. So we've got 2 applications that are on the App Exchange, one called Process Composer, one called Mix. And the Process Composer application is 100% native. We love the platform. We love all the capabilities it provides, built-in AI, security, scalability, user interface. And that's it.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Good.
Nice job.
So guys, nice work. There's a lot of different workflow automation tools and products out there. What are you going to use to get people's attention, to get a buyer's attention, to try your product?
Well, what we do, we certainly do marketing around the App Exchange. We do direct marketing and industry conferences, specifically with financial services and with RIAs. But in terms of communicating what's different about it, and that's probably the biggest thing, right, is Salesforce has these native tools that you can use. They're great. Process Builder's great. Workflow rules are great. But when you reach a certain level of complexity, I guess my answer is more about what's different than in terms of how we're getting it out. We certainly have customers, and there's a lot around that. But complexity is a big one. Once you reach a certain level of complexity in a process, the basic tools, the out-of-the-box tools just won't work. Another problem is reporting. So if you have very complex processes that happen over a period of time, are assigned to different people, with the native tools, you don't really know where they are along the way, or what the future workload might look like. And we offer insight into both of those, because Process Composer is really using out-of-the-box custom objects inside of Salesforce.
Let me ask it maybe a different way. If you were running a Google ad and you had like 4 or 5 words, what would it say?
What would it say? 4 or 5 words.
Yeah, maybe think about it. I think you're in a big
Yeah.
space. I think having a snappy tagline to get people's attention is going to be critical.
Supercharged Salesforce workflow automation is what we put on. That's
like
actually
it.
on our App
Yeah,
Exchange listing.
that's on the App Exchange.
I like that one.
Yeah. The other thing I would add to what he said, too, is the differentiator. Being 100% native on the platform allows all that reporting to kind of come in all together. And then also you can take advantage of those other platform tools. So you can use Flow with Process Composer, and we have clients doing that today. So.
I had a question about just more about the traction that you already have and your team makeup, as far as how many people are on the team and you know how
Sure.
the traction that you can.
If I can add to that on the traction side, you had 6 logos up there. Maybe you
Yeah.
can talk a little bit about how many people are using it, what the engagement metrics are, how you can tell that you've got product market fit with those clients.
Sure. So the team, there's 10 of us. So the team makeup is developers, support people, and a sales staff, and all local to the Des Moines area. In terms of the, what was your question again? Sorry.
Kind of product market fit.
Oh, product market,
engagement
the
with clients.
So yeah, some of those clients, they're some of the larger ones. There's several thousand reps that log into those environments, and so they have processes that they have to execute across the business. It may be like at a private wealth firm at a bank. It's around people engaging and ranking clients, and then based on how the different rankings of clients, they have a certain call schedule that they have to go through, and so all that's baked in to Process Composer in that platform. But it scales down to teams companies that have 4 people. So you may have a small wealth management firm that has 4 people, and they want to service their clients, and they'll map all their processes out. So another beauty of being on the platform, you've got small companies to very large companies that can both take advantage of it.
Can you just double click on, you said earlier that some of the existing solutions, at some point the processes get too complex. Can you give me an example of why those products, or explain why those products can't handle some of the more complex workflows that you can, and maybe a specific example of one of those workflows?
One of the big differentiators is around staging and also around events. So if you want to, say you have 3 steps in a process that all need to happen before something else can happen afterwards, or if 2 of those 3 have to happen, but 1 is sort of optional. Those kind of things aren't possible. It's just more advanced branching logic, where Process Builder would be multiple if-then statements at kind of those decision points. We certainly have that already, but then having these stages as well. Also driving processes off of events that are scheduled on the calendar. If you just schedule it on the calendar, then automatically the whole process can flow automatically that way.
Yeah. With the native tools, you'd either have to kind of cobble it all together, and it'd be very difficult to see, that picture we showed of the steps and the swim lanes, trying to see a process like that, if it was possible at all. Or you'd have to write a bunch of custom code to accomplish those processes, or go outside the platform to like a BPM type tool where it's kind of disconnected and operating outside. So it just makes it harder to connect those 2. So.
Good job.
Nice work, guys.
Nice job, guys.
Well done.
Congratulations. Good job, guys.
thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Bravo. Big hand for Orchestrate.
Nice
Not
job,
as easy
guys.
as it looks. Nicely done, VCs. All right, next up, we have pitch number 2, which is Rena and Bill from Target Recruit. Woohoo! Big hand.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Scoring first, or just go right ahead? I meant for the other one, not for
I think our time
That'd
is
be
up.
interesting.
Dive in.
I'm guessing you're VP of
You have a
sales.
T-shirt for us, or is that?
I'll get you after.
Okay, go ahead.
Take you to the shop out front. Here we go. Okay, good morning or good afternoon, depending upon how you set your watch, I guess. My name is Bill Inman.
I'm Reena Gupta, and we are really excited to be here today.
Right, we want to say thank you first to Salesforce for the opportunity to present, and then also to the judges in the audience for your time. We do appreciate it. Target Recruit is part of the $400 billion gig and project-based labor industry that's rapidly changing how people work. But also, most companies are not prepared to manage and source this workforce, causing higher costs, talent gaps, and a lack of workforce visibility. Target Recruit provides an innovative workforce management system built on Salesforce.com that helps companies get ahead of this workforce shift, and then also helps the individual worker find projects faster so they can create income stability. The world of work is changing. By the year 2020, 50% of all US work is expected to be project-based. That's all part of a $400 billion market today. But 100,000 or more companies in the US don't have any system to manage their project or gig workforce. That leads to many of them spending 20% more on this labor than they should. Also, 75% of project-based workers are low income or poverty level, and 35% don't have insurance. Target Recruit is taking on all of these challenges and is helping to change the way that this work is managed. Now, Target Recruit's workforce management system was launched in 2016, and we've had great and profitable traction. The system is used for workforces at many well-known enterprises and fast-growing mid-sized companies to source, screen, manage, and engage gig, freelance, temporary, and project-based workers, contractors. And the system is used to find these workers faster, to automatically communicate with this workforce, to get better metrics. That leads to lower costs. And this is important to find the right person at the right price at the right time. Now I'm going to introduce Rena, who's going to give us a product overview here as well and talk about our Moms Relaunch Program initiative, which we're helping talented moms get back to work through the Target Recruit technology.
Thank you, Bill. I'm going to give you some overview of Target Recruit. So it all starts with our clients posting their jobs or projects in our system, which then gets distributed to different channels, again, based on their preferences. They can choose where to hire, how to hire. Candidates apply, mobile, website, their system, our system stores their information, auto-matches based on their skills, credentials, their availability, their interest. All those things are added, and the list of shortlisted candidates are presented to our clients where they take next action. Our system provides feedback, ratings, which then again further used to auto-match the candidates. Candidates are then onboarded. They provide their timesheet, expense data, all project-related work, which is then again transferred into the accounting, payables, receivables, payroll, all that information in there. Built on Salesforce Platform, we are providing amazing matrix and data together. We also just launched integration with Amazon Alexa. Imagine doing everything with a voice command, not just only order pizza, but hire through Alexa. We are super excited about it. As you can see, our system is 100% built on Force.com. We are not only bringing the HR data, but also mapping the business data that is sitting in the Salesforce system and bringing the visibility that the companies can know how an employee productivity, efficiency can add to the bottom line of the business. It's a huge value proposition that a client can ask for. As Bill mentioned, we are using Target Recruit system, our own passion and industry experience to bring stay-at-home moms back to the workforce. It's a huge hidden talent sitting at home. I started my company after my first child was born, right after my first child was born. I have done it successfully for years, and I really want to help the stay-at-home moms. My company has lots and lots of rock star moms from sales, marketing, technology. None of these things have been possible without the amazing team that we have, including Bill. He has been an industry veteran. He has started 3 companies from idea to 20 million. One of them has reached 3.2 billion in revenue.
Right, and Rena is a fantastic example of a strong female entrepreneur. I'm thrilled to work with her. She's been around Salesforce for a while, one of the first incubated app partners in 2008, and she's already created a Salesforce applicant tracking system and delivered that to 300 staffing companies nationwide. So thank you very much. That's Target Recruit. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go for it. Sure. Can you talk a little bit more about the mom program?
Sure. So I have to start with a story. I started my company by hiring a friend of mine who was having a very good relationship with me, but I saw that she's very talented, so I trained her to do my job. I placed her to do my role, and I started finding more business. That was started in 2002 as running an IT staffing company. I took that model. Anytime any mom comes in and asks for my help, friend, family, I just hired Target Recruit has a fitness coach, a unique mom, mom of 2 kids and twin kids. And had no clue of how to run an IT staffing, and she's doing an amazing job being an account manager for my Target Recruit clients. So I personally feel that, and I'm not biased here, but there's something that happens when you have so much responsibilities going on, you become so proficient, so productive, and so efficient in time management that you give it all. And that is what needs to be trained. They just need a little bit of push. They just need a little bit of guidance. Nowadays, there's a lot of skills and online training. What's not there is giving them a vision, giving them a path, how you go forward. My friends, I mean, I can have tons of stories around it, but that's my vision. It's like, there's a lot of jobs that's being done virtually, outsourced to different countries. That can be done by setting talent next to your butt. So we're super excited. We are building a niche talent pool. This is just a start. There are a lot of such, maybe veterans relaunch, whoever. So it's a very close, yeah.
If I could add as
Thank
well
you.
that the Moms Relaunch is just the first of the diversity programs we're going to launch. With access to all these jobs and being able to create these talent pools, we'll be able to go so many different routes.
And we have so many clients, we can bring our own client pools as well as go to corporates to join this initiative for us and give us the job that we can train and help them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess I'll ask the product market fit question again, which is, you had a bunch of logos up
Sure.
there. Can you talk a little bit about what's happening in the marketplace and how you measure success in terms of whether it's working or not?
Sure, thanks, Aileen. So one of the unique things about how we distribute the product is we work with a bunch of staffing services and staffing companies who already have established clients. So they need the system to differentiate in their market because staffing is old and stale to a big degree. So they bring clients to the table like Tesla or Disney or Capital One. So some of these clients the system has been used to recruit hundreds of temporary workers for light industrial all the way to professional positions.
So they're using you as an in-house SaaS solution to manage their recruiting processes?
It's the technology, right? They're taking our technology, adding a service layer on it, bringing already their clients, and they're using it as their defensible position to not lose a staffing client to a disruptive technology. So some of these clients have 10,000 temporary workers in the system. The job is distributed to the temp workers as the first layer. If that doesn't work, then it's distributed to other staffing partners, and then they fill the role. So it's been used for hundreds of temp workers, and there's tens of thousands of workers in some of these databases.
Just to follow up from on a product standpoint, are you offering a marketplace of temporary and gig workers as well associated with this, or is this really managing the HR elements associated with supporting?
Right. We're a technology company. Yeah. Certainly Moms Relaunch is the first venture into that very niche, right, and giving back, if you will. We certainly could do that.
Okay.
And we've thought about that. But no, we're empowering partners to go out to their customers, and we're going direct too so that they can do that.
And the way we are going to be pricing it all based on the percentage of spend. So if they're hiring through this network and not only selling as a SaaS per license, but when you get a piece of the $400 billion revenue, that's what we're looking for.
That's just good to emphasize real quick. $400 billion global market will grow to $600 billion, 120 in the US, going to grow to 180 billion in a few years. We started with a license model. We're moving to percentage of spend. 0.5% to 1% of all the volume that runs through is our business model. So it's a really fantastic business model. And then you have the partners bringing their warm clients in too.
Can I ask quickly how long you guys have worked together?
I was a customer of Rena's, and I got a cold call. I've started another business, and I started to use a system that she had built previously. Sure. And we started on this project about 2015, and Rena wrote the code, and I know the business, and we launched in 2016. But I've known her since 2011.
Okay.
2011, I moved to the Bay Area, and that's where we've been working together.
Thank you.
Last question?
Yeah, I just want to say, some of our best companies have had strong missions, so I love the mission that you articulated with Moms Relaunch. And I also think you're riding a big trend with the gig economy. If you had to quickly summarize, what's the biggest flaw in existing systems that you're fixing?
Well, the biggest flaw is that the 100,000 companies don't have a system. Their system is spreadsheets and email, and managers go out and find
spreadsheets.
Workers. Absolutely, and it's just chaos, right? It's called Maverick Spend. Go ahead, Rena.
The systems, when you go and implement Target Recruit, there's so many different systems all across that it's just bringing them in one platform is a huge benefit.
Makes sense.
Bravo! Woo! Good job. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Well done. T-shirts
Big
later.
hand for Target Recruit. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay. Great questions, VCs. Arlan, do you have something you want
Are
to
there
say?
any more T-shirts? Or
Yeah, let's see what kind of bribery comes next. All right, up next for pitch number 3, digital onboarding with Ted and Jonathan. Big hand for them, everybody. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, I hold in my hand the standard bank customer activation technology used at every financial institution. You all have one. You got it last time you opened up your checking account. It's your welcome kit. Now this beauty here costs $14 to print, and its semi-gloss finish is designed to inspire the holder to download a mobile banking app, set up direct deposits, and switch over their automatic payments. My name is Ted Brown.
And I'm Jonathan Crossman.
And we're the founders of Digital Onboarding, where we are updating this antiquated bank technology to the 21st century. For those of you who don't work at a bank, I'd like to walk through some numbers with you. Your bank spends about $300 in marketing just to get you to walk in the door and open your account. Now, the data shows that the clock starts ticking at that point. The bank has no more than 60 days to get you to follow on with that initial purchase decision, activate your account, and become a fully engaged, profitable customer. Now, if I told you that banks only accomplish that goal less than half of the time, and 11% of accounts that are opened are never activated at all and end up costing the bank money, would you try harder? Would you do more than a packet of brochures? At Digital Onboarding, we are solving this problem by replacing the outdated paper-based welcome kit with an instant text message to a digital journey that will walk an account opener through each step required to activate and get the most out of their financial services product. Tasks like downloading a mobile banking app or setting up direct deposits can be done with the click of a button. And what's more, the experience is 100% digital, so it fits into the way that the modern consumer expects to do business. And importantly, it gives the bank a trackable view into their new customer activation funnel, so that they can measure, analyze, and optimize this critical piece of their business. Now, there are over 10,000 financial institutions in the United States alone, and that adds up to a big opportunity. We estimate over $100 billion in profit or loss each year due to inactive accounts. And what's more, over $1 billion is wasted on ineffective direct mail used during the onboarding process. So we've made it really easy for a bank to sync up with our API and eliminate that inefficiency instantly with a digital solution that works. We've priced subscriptions to our SaaS platform at a discount to what it would otherwise cost you to send a piece of direct mail, and that still leaves an opportunity of over $600 million in annual recurring subscription contracts from banks in the United States alone. So we're just scratching the surface of this opportunity, launching with the 15th largest credit union in the country next month. But we've worked really hard to build a network of channel reseller partners to take this to market, and our current network gives us access to about 5% of this opportunity. But when we raise our seed round towards the end of the year to build the direct sales team that we need, we'll be able to capture and have access to the entire opportunity. So from the start, we built this product with banks using Salesforce in mind. 90% of the application is hosted on Heroku. We're working to plug our activation funnels into the CRM so the bank can have a single view of the entire customer lifecycle in one platform. And finally, we're very excited to start working with Salesforce's latest Einstein artificial intelligence so we can replace the personal banker who calls you at the least convenient time with an AI-driven, smart, automated, digital personal onboarding assistant. I want to end on this slide and emphasize our team's experience. This is not our first time at the rodeo. Prior to starting Digital Onboarding, we were part of the team that brought the very first online account opening platform to over 600 banks and credit unions. You may not have heard the company name, but if you've ever opened up an account on a bank's website, there's a good chance you used the software we brought to market. Now, these are the same banks and the same relationships that are required to execute on the digital onboarding opportunity, and we are uniquely qualified to solve this problem. So the first time around, we solved problems for consumers to make it easy for you to open up your account quickly and conveniently. But the next time around, we're going to solve the problem for the banks so they can actually convert the accounts that get opened into profitable relationships. Thank you, and we'll take your questions.
Well, I'll just say I loved your opening. I thought it was great. Grabbed the attention very quickly. I want to make sure I understand the product. So you're starting with the text message. Are you powered by Twilio?
Yes.
Excellent. there's the existing bank app. Between that, what is it that your product does? It tracks the activation. Do you actually like take in input of the customer data, or is that within the bank's app?
We're all in front of the PIN. So 11% of the accounts that are open never get behind the PIN into online banking to deal with PFM, other engagement platforms. So it starts with a text message. You're entered into an automatic, nurturing thread at that point that reminds you, we notice you haven't downloaded the mobile banking app. Would you like to try? Hit this button. So it's all about the engagement, that it's a big drop-off point that people just aren't getting behind the PIN and actively banking with the other systems that are part of the customer lifecycle management.
Is there any applicability to other industries? Because the other thing that caught my attention is 600 million as a TAM is a little small for a venture scale business. Could you take this to other industries, or is it specific to banking?
Absolutely. No, we actually have non-financial institutions using the product, but this is our initial beachhead. We expect to branch out onto other verticals, agencies. That number doesn't include insurance companies. That number doesn't include a number of other very similar institutions. But given our connections, the most obtainable market is within traditional depository banks and credit unions to start, and of course, areas to expand beyond that. And that number also is just in the United States. Doesn't count global banks. IT spending at banks is about a third to US institutions, so there's a much larger opportunity once we tackle our initial beachhead.
I have a question. When I think about opening a bank and I think about that section of it, I think about a courtroom scene where you're not, people were forced to force like 6 bank accounts on each customer. If you know what I mean? Is there anything in place to could this be used to actually protect the customer in a way?
Well, a lot of people think about the Wells Fargo scandal when they think of this
Honestly,
concept.
I didn't know if they were a sponsor or not, so I didn't know.
Yeah, well, I'm not breaking the news. But a lot of people do think about that. But the truth is that problem is happening at every bank, just not on a fraudulent level. These accounts are getting open. They're being called customers. They're not customers. And banks don't make money on accounts. They make money on profitable banking relationships. So it's a big gap. It's a big thing in the industry that executives are recognizing. 80%, Financial Brand said 80% of bank executives are unsatisfied with their onboarding process currently. 45% or 45% don't have any follow-up process at all after an account gets opened. So the competition is that packet of brochures. They hand it away, and that's it. So it's a big area that the executives recognize as a major problem. And if you can move the needle 1%, it makes a huge impact to the bank's P&L.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ian.
Just quickly, who do you sell? Who's the customer? Is it more of a marketing person, or do you think because of that it could be a compliance person? And are there benchmarks that I know you're just getting started that you have to hit that you think will get them to switch from paper to you?
So the primary buyers are marketing's involved, for credit unions, member service, head of digital, the online sales executives, those type of roles that are involved in the customer acquisition process. In terms of your question on efficacy, one thing everyone agrees on is that we're not going to do any harm to the paper packets. A lot of money is spent on those paper packets. So out of the gate, that's a win. What the test, and we'll continue to learn more as we get more and more clients, is how far can we move the needle on activation rates, because that makes a huge impact to the P&L if you just do the numbers. But out of the gate, efficacy-wise, there's no question from any of our pilot customers, any of our initial clients, that doesn't work.
You sound a lot like a B2C kind of marketing automation platform for very specific use case where you're trying to drive those conversions. Are there any rule engine? Is there a rule engine in the background, or are you tracking the engagement of the customer on the more traditional banking products to understand how and when to reach out to them, or is it really more just you send them a text after they sign up and kind of hope it converts?
Yeah, those are all part of the phased program. So initially replacing with a text, entering you into a recurring stream. That's very similar to Pardot or another marketing automation suite. But also rewards programs managed through the system to incent you to take the actions that drive profit for the bank.
Great job, digital onboarding.
Thank
Good
you.
job, you guys. Stay here, stay here. I'd like to invite the other contestants up. Come on up, Rena, everyone, come on up. We're gonna have a chat while the judges go. We'll start with you guys since you're up here. So it's always, looks like one thing and then you do it. How was that experience?
It was fun.
Yeah, fun? That's
Yes.
it? That's all? What about for you guys? Here, we'll Rena.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we knew going into this that we had a smart team of judges, and so they fired away.
Yeah?
It was good.
Was it intimidating?
Oh, they're nice.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't know if they're nice when you're actually going for their cash. What about you guys? What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good point.
We're excited to share the vision, and Rena's got a great vision, so it's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So how did you guys prepare for this? Give me a little bit of details. You guys are from Des Moines, so you're from Iowa, so you flew here. Thank you for coming. So how did you prepare for this? Were you just ready to go out the gate, or what'd you do?
We talked to a couple coaches and making sure our content was good and our pitch style was good, and then just practiced.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Anything special?
Got beat up a bunch by a bunch of other shark type people, and then got to
Not affiliated with ABC Shark Tank in any way, shape, or form.
Got
But
to-
thank you. On we go. Yes.
got to a place where we liked the content and did it a million times.
What about you guys? How'd you prepare?
Well, I have to be very honest. My kids helped prepare.
And your kid's here too. Which is great. He's in the audience watching his mom.
He's been acting as a judge, and he's been helping. My daughter is at home. I'm sure. I hope I didn't let them down. So
funny story, actually. He did all the research on all the panelists and all the other companies. So we took him for
he knows more about the judges and all our competitors than us. So
Good. Smart kid. Smart kid. You guys
sitting in the
asked,
audience.
You're done. Arlan, you have anything you want to say?
Hi. Yeah, you all did a great job.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself. I don't know.
Josh, you look like you have something to say.
No,
You ask them all if they're using Twilio.
Well, I hope they are. I mean,
we use Twilio. See, what we do is we bring all the HR ecosystem. We are building an HR for texting and all those things. So it's just like we are building an ecosystem like Salesforce has done for Salesforce and CRM. We are doing it for the HR industry.
That's awesome.
see, I wish I'd known that before I put in the story. I would have given you an extra
You can,
point on that.
you can change the
Yeah,
score
we
now.
use Twilio as well.
Put it on a T-shirt.
I thought you all did a great job. This format is always a tough format. It's a complex topic in 5 minutes. I thought you all did a really nice job, both pitching the companies and also answering our questions.
Thank you.
Anybody else want me to keep asking them questions? I'm happy to. So what's the best thing about building around Salesforce? I mean, whatever. I like to talk about myself, so here we go. What do you like about building with Salesforce?
Well, I was running a staffing company. Salesforce helped us build our first product. So all I have known is Salesforce.
Oh, good.
I've been a Java developer, I've been a Cold Fusion developer, but when we came into Salesforce, I literally fell in love with this platform. And it was in 2005, from an IT staffing company, we became a Salesforce technical implementation partner. From that, we saw the need of running an IT staffing company in a different product, which is not talking to my sales system. That was the origination of our CRM-based applicant tracking system. So Salesforce Salesforce is what we know.
I like that. That works for me. I'm off of that. What about you guys? What do you like about being
do you like,
partners with
Jonathan?
Salesforce?
Well, since we primarily use Heroku, I love.
Salesforce, dude. All
that's
same
part of
thing, one
Salesforce.
family. Ohana.
Yeah.
Ohana.
Yeah, I love that the platform has been abstracted away for us. It's a problem that has been solved a million times over, and so we don't have to waste time solving that problem. We go directly to solution and writing useful code.
I'm blown away by Heroku. I mean, last business with servers in the closet, people managing, plugging the holes, and I put my credit card in, slide it on, and it just gets faster. It's just amazing.
It's awesome. I agree. Don't you agree, Scott?
I could not agree more.
What about you guys? What do you like about partnering with Salesforce?
I'd say speed. The fact that a small company and a huge enterprise can use the same platform and get different things out of it is amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and we love you guys too. We love having you guys as partners. Josh.
Well, I'm actually curious. So I think Salesforce has made a lot of strides in working with their partners on the marketing aspect, on customer acquisition. Are any of you taking advantage of that? And if so, any tips in terms of what's working for you?
Yeah, I mean, we get leads every single day. It's like, Rena, guess who just came in as a lead? It's pretty ridiculous, actually. So that's a huge advantage. It's nice to build products, but we have to sell something, too, to survive. So the support from being on the ecosystem in the app stores is really amazing. And it's a big part of why this works for us.
Yeah, I mean, again, being a small company, you just can't have a whole amount of sales, marketing, but when you get the inbound leads from Salesforce, that's when you get the real business going. You don't. The cost of acquisition of leads is so low because of the network and the power, not only from the Salesforce ecosystem, but we also sell through the partner ecosystem. So it's keeping that whole partner ecosystem together and using them to do our marketing is the benefit. And Salesforce has done a tremendous job for us, for any companies like us.
What about you guys?
I mean, I would say that we haven't launched in the App Exchange, and fintech's still very much relationships, but there's no doubt Salesforce is winning in terms of the CRMs for the larger banks, and it's really important to have a partnership there because that's where they're going. A lot of people still have legacy systems, but in terms of who's winning, it's Salesforce.
Salesforce, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd echo some of Rena's thoughts that we're a Salesforce partner, and they provide good resources in terms of getting in front of SVPs, AVPs, within Salesforce, and also sales engineers that can help solve problems when they're doing implementations. So they know not only to recommend the basic CRM, maybe a Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, but they can also bolt on apps from the App Exchange. So that, in addition to the leads that come in every day right from the portal or the platform, are invaluable to us.
Joint sales strategy with Salesforce, not only from the App Exchange, but working with their SR and SEs who can come and do the demos with you and help close. It's an amazing ecosystem. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. You hear a lot of pitches, and so a lot of these people want to know what does it? What's the thing that makes you go, bing? I'm gonna think about this more than just standard sitting in my office hearing people pitch. Aileen, you want to start?
Sure. One thing that I think Josh brought up, which was market size, right? Talking about market size early is generally something, big numbers get VCs usually to sit forward in their chairs. And usually the market size has to be, I would say, $5 billion plus in terms of addressable market size, because when you think about if our wildest dreams come true and we're successful, at our peak, we'll get maybe 10% market share. And so if the market is only $1 billion, $100 million is not big enough to be able to be an independent company, generally speaking, or be a public company, which is what most venture investors are looking to back. And so big, kind of being able to tell early in the story, both kind of the credibility of the team and the size of the market gets people excited.
Yeah, I mean, just building on that, we always ask 3 questions. How big would this be if it worked, which is what Aileen just talked about. Why now and why this team? And I think you touched on pieces of that, but those are really the 3 things we're looking for in a pitch. And when those 3 things come together is when you get the magic.
I tend to look at the dynamic of who's talking, more so in the team, more so than anything else, and then I let smarter people decide on the diligence.
That's interesting. Hold on. So that's not your typical response. So what are you looking for when you're looking at the dynamic?
It helps that we have a smaller fund because I am able to look at things with a different profile than I think a larger fund would be able to look at. But I look at the dynamics of who's speaking. If there's someone has an idea at the moment, are they allowed that time to speak, or is someone else kind of dominating that? And then I think about, maybe there's a reason that's happening, but, I try to be like a founder whisperer and try to figure out what's going on there.
That's awesome.
It's the initial thing. There's a lot more to it, but that's the initial
and
thing.
I think that's sort of of course, there's the numbers and everything, but the's clearly you guys have a sixth sense for something, right?
Well, there's a lot
You
of
say a
companies.
sixth sense? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of companies, and there's a lot. Things are going to change. Things are going to pivot. You're going to pivot at some point, or things are going to get really rocky. So I like to see, if I'm thinking about putting money behind something, is this going to last is the company itself going to last? And I try to see that in a few minutes.
Mr. Scott.
Yes, I think these guys covered a lot of things I think that are really important to us. But one of the things that we really look for too is just the passion that the entrepreneurs and the founders have for the idea. I mean, being a founder is about the hardest job you can possibly ever imagine, and taking on a monumental challenge like building a company from scratch is just it's kind of unbelievable to me that that people are able to do that. And so just how much passion they have for the idea, because they're going to face lots of challenges. There's going to be lots of good days and lots of bad days, and just want to make sure that they're in it for the long haul.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have good news. The winner has been chosen. So, without further ado, Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Trailhead DX 2017 Dreampitch is... Woo! Digital Onboarding! And here's Matt Garrett!
Yes, I've been wanting to do that.
Thank you.
That was so exciting.
All right. I always wanted one of these. Thank you.
I think it's really important to give a big round of applause for all of our contestants. This is not easy to do. Bravo, great job. Look at you guys. Doesn't everyone want a big check?
I've always wanted one.
Everyone wants a big check. Well, huge congratulations, you guys. And of course, we're always so indebted to all of the judges and all of the amazing people here. One more thing for you just all to keep in mind with regard to how we do this at Salesforce is we also have an incubator, which is open. Batch 3 is applying now for industry-specific apps. And you guys get $20,000 or $50,000. Woohoo! Wow. They're buying drinks later or dinner, depending on what you like. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Congratulations. Have a great Trailhead DX.
Congrats.